Welcome back, tech enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the world of software testing with a twist. We're not talking about your run-of-the-mill everyday testing tools. No, we're going deeper, exploring the unconventional, the unorthodox. Think of those contrarian testers, the ones who always seem to find the hidden bugs, the ones who challenge the status quo. These are the tools built for them, the ones that can give them an edge in the ever-evolving landscape of software development. We're going to break down 10 of these tools, diving deep into their features, use cases, and how they can empower you to become a more effective and maybe even a little bit contrarian tester. First up, we have Gremlins, a tool that definitely lives up to its name. Now, if you're familiar with the movie, you know Gremlins are all about causing chaos, and that's exactly what this tool does, but in a good way, of course. Essentially, Gremlins allows you to inject random, unexpected inputs into your application. Think of it as a stress test on steroids. It's about pushing your application to its limits and seeing how it handles the unexpected. Now, you might be thinking, why would I want to intentionally break my own application? Well, that's the beauty of it. By simulating these chaotic scenarios, you can uncover hidden vulnerabilities, edge cases that you might not have even considered. And that's where the contrarian tester shines. While others are focused on the happy path, you're actively seeking out those breaking points, those areas where the application might crumble under pressure. Gremlins gives you the power to do just that, to embrace the chaos and emerge as a true testing hero. Our next tool is all about pushing the boundaries, literally. I like to call it the boundary surfer, but its real name is a bit more technical. We're talking about tools specializing in boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning. Now, these techniques are all about testing the limits of your input fields. Think about those pesky form validations. The ones that tell you your password needs to be at least 8 characters long or that your phone number is invalid. The boundary surfer helps you test those edges, those critical points where your input validation might just slip up. It's about inputting values that are just slightly too long, just slightly too short, or even completely nonsensical. And here's the contrarian part. While others might stick to testing within the expected ranges, you're going beyond. Exploring those fringe cases that might trip up unsuspecting users. It's about understanding that bugs often lurk at the edges, and the boundary surfer is your trusty surfboard, allowing you to ride those waves of input validation and expose any hidden wipeouts. Let's talk about time travel. Not the Back to the Future kind, but something equally as cool in the world of software testing. Our next tool allows you to manipulate time itself, and no, it's not a DeLorean. We're talking about tools like libfake-time and time machine, which give you the power to control the system clock within your testing environment. Now, you might be wondering, why mess with time? Well, time-dependent code can be notoriously tricky, and that's where the Time Traveler tool comes in. Imagine you're testing a feature that relies on specific time intervals, like a scheduled task or a time-limited offer. With the Time Traveler, you can fast forward, rewind, even pause time to see how your application behaves under these unusual temporal conditions. For the contrarian tester, this is where things get interesting. You can simulate leap years, daylight saving time transitions, even time zone changes, all without having to wait for the actual event. Get ready to enter the world of genetic algorithms and mutation testing, because our next tool is all about creating mutant versions of your code. And yes, it's as cool as it sounds. Tools like Pit and Jumble are the mutation masters, and their goal is to introduce subtle changes or mutations into your source code. These mutations are designed to mimic common programming errors, like flipping a less than sign to a greater than sign or changing a variable name slightly. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The mutation master then runs your test suite against these mutated versions of your code. The goal is to see if your existing tests can detect and flag these mutations as failures. If they do, great, your tests are strong and resilient. If not, well, it's a sign that you might need to beef up your test coverage. Let's dive into the realm of quantum computing, or at least a tool that borrows its principles. The quantum inspector, as I like to call it, isn't about qubits and entanglement, but it does share the concept of superposition. In quantum mechanics, superposition means a particle can exist in multiple states simultaneously. Similarly, this tool helps you analyze the different states your application can be in. We're talking about tools like state machine testing frameworks or model-based testing tools. These tools allow you to model the different states your application can be in and the transitions between those states. For example, think of an e-commerce application. You have states like shopping cart, checkout, payment, and order confirmation. The Quantum Inspector helps you ensure that your application transitions smoothly between these states, no matter the path a user takes. It's about considering all the possible combinations and permutations, and that's where the contrarian mindset comes in handy. You're not just testing the happy path, you're exploring all the potential paths, even the unlikely ones, to make sure your application is robust and reliable. In the world of software, network issues are about as inevitable as death and taxes. Our next tool embraces that reality, becoming the ultimate traffic cop for your application's network traffic. Tools like Network Emulator and Charles Proxy give you the power to simulate real-world network conditions, and I'm not just talking about slow internet speeds. We're talking about latency spikes, packet loss, even complete network outages. The Traffic Cop allows you to control the flow of data to and from your application, creating unpredictable network scenarios. Now you might be wondering, why would I want to intentionally sabotage my network? Well, the contrarian tester understands that things will go wrong in the real world. By simulating these network hiccups, you can see how your application responds. Does it gracefully handle errors? Does it time out appropriately, or does it crash and burn? Let's talk security, because in today's world it's more important than ever. Our next tool allows you to put on your ethical hacker hat and become the security auditor. We're talking about tools like OWASP, ZAP, and Burp Suite, which are designed to help you identify security vulnerabilities in your web applications. These tools allow you to perform penetration testing, which essentially means simulating attacks that a malicious hacker might try to use against your application. Now, I know what you're thinking, this sounds complicated, but here's the thing. You don't need to be a seasoned security expert to get started with these tools. Many of them offer user-friendly interfaces and guided tutorials, making it easier than ever to start thinking like a hacker, but for good, of course. In the world of software, speed is king. Our next tool is all about performance, helping you become the ultimate performance profiler. We're talking about tools like JProfiler and Chrome DevTools, which allow you to dive deep into your application's performance characteristics. These tools help you identify bottlenecks, those pesky areas where your application is slow, sluggish, or just plain inefficient. Think of it like this. If your application is a car, the performance profiler is like lifting the hood and inspecting the engine. You're looking for anything that might be causing drag, slowing you down. And here's the contrarian part. While others might be satisfied with simply meeting performance benchmarks, you're going further, digging deeper to squeeze every last ounce of performance out of your application. Our next tool takes a page from the wisdom of crowds, allowing you to tap into the collective intelligence of many testers. We're talking about crowd testing platforms, and they can be a game changer. Platforms like Testlio and User Testing connect you with a global network of testers, each with their own devices, operating systems, and most importantly, perspectives. This diversity is invaluable. It allows you to get your application in front of real users in real-world scenarios, which can uncover bugs and usability issues that you might have never even considered. The crowd tester understands that no single tester can account for every possible user scenario. By leveraging the power of the crowd, you get a much broader and more comprehensive view of your application's strengths and weaknesses. Finally, let's talk about the future of testing, because like everything else, it's being shaped by the power of artificial intelligence. Our last tool is the AI-powered assistant, and it's here to change the game. We're talking about tools like Testum and Applitools, which use machine learning to enhance your testing efforts. These tools can help you automate repetitive tasks, generate test cases, even predict potential bugs before they even occur. Now, I know what you're thinking. Will AI replace testers? And the answer is no, but it will augment our abilities, making us even more effective. The AI-powered assistant is like having a super smart sidekick, helping you analyze data, identify patterns, and focus on the most critical aspects of testing. That's it for today's video. If you found these tools interesting, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. We've covered a lot of ground, from chaos engineering to quantum-inspired testing, all with the goal of helping you become a more effective and, dare I say, contrarian tester. Don't forget to subscribe for more tech insights and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.